Hi and welcome to another quick practice video from Aussie Ideas Man. This one I have to smash out pretty fast. I just got very interested in Steve the Cretin from Aptera Owners Club's take on the Dunning-Kruger effect. I once told him he should make a video about whether the dogs will chase Aptera because he makes videos about everything. And I never thought he would ever make one on the Dunning-Kruger effect. So I just thought I'd add a few comments as I watch it again.
Okay. The next part of this, I wanted to kind of talk about how you guys think I should deal with some of the commenters on this page. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Dunning-Kruger effect. Many of you guys have probably heard of this. Dunning-Kruger effect is named after two psychologists, Dunning and Kruger. And what they realized that people that have a little bit of knowledge have kind of unwarranted confidence in their ability. And so they call this the peak of Mount Stupid here. And so I believe the graph actually should be much higher here. And then after a while, you realize that you don't know that much. And then you actually learn stuff, and then you get more confidence in your ability. And usually I would say that this peak is much higher. People that really know stuff don't generally have the level of confidence of people that know a little bit.
Okay, he's talking so fast it's hard to actually stop and interject. So he wants to know how to deal with people, and he turns to a graph that talks about whether a person's confident or not. Well, I don't know that being confident has anything to do with how you would deal with somebody. You just deal with somebody based on what they write, and their level of confidence is completely unknown to you and completely irrelevant. And also now, my next thought is that he thinks Dunning and Kruger got the graph wrong. Such confidence.
And this is something that was codified by Dunning and Kruger as the Dunning-Kruger effect, but it's been well known and well observed by many people. You know, there's a very common saying that a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. That's because if you have a little bit of knowledge, you end up here. And there's all these quotes. You know, one of the painful things about our time is that those who feel certainty are stupid, and those with any imagination and understanding are filled with doubt and indecision. Or confidence is the prize given to the mediocre. Socrates says to know is to know that you know nothing. And Confucius said real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Tom Sowell, it takes considerable knowledge just to realize the extent of your own ignorance. Education is the progressive discovery of our own ignorance. The greatest obstacle to discovery is not ignorance, it's the illusion of knowledge. People who think they know stuff. Okay, so there are people that are in the commenting group that are here.
Okay, I better stop here. All those sayings really mean nothing. It's gobbledygook. Now, the sayings say that if you know next to nothing, you're highly confident, and that's what the graph shows. That's what all those sayings were trying to point out. If you know next to nothing, you're highly confident. That's not true. That's only true of some people. For most people, if they know next to nothing, they lack confidence. That's the reality of the world. People who know next to nothing lack confidence. This Dunning-Kruger effect is pointed at a certain group of people that they observed. And it's not reality. It's not the general occurrences in the world.
You know, I kind of leave them for a little bit, hoping that eventually they'll make it off the mountain and start coming to here. But some people just refuse to gain knowledge, and they just like to stay here because it's a very...
Now, this is where he's saying he deals with people who make comments because he considers these people as being among the minority group that Dunning-Kruger polled. And he's going, I'm going to vet whether a person is confident or not. They can make a comment if they lack confidence, I suppose, or for some reason or other, if they're confident and he thinks they're a guru, he'll let them through. But he's just the arbiter of what's going on. And unfortunately, Steve isn't qualified to be this arbiter. He's way out of his depth.
Very comfortable place to be. You feel supremely confident in your own knowledge and your own ability because you're here. That's when you have the most confidence. You're supreme, and it's a very comfortable place to be. And people don't like to go through this. This is a very painful place to be. So people like to stay here, and it's very easy to stay here. You just don't learn anymore, and then you can stay there. In my job, I work with a lot of doctors, and there's an article here that why doctors make terrible traders. It's because a lot of people that have competence in one area and are good at something, they feel like their competence in one area automatically translates to competence in another area.
Okay, so let's apply this to the cretin Steve. He's working with lots of doctors. What area does that qualify him in when it comes to talking about Aptera or even making videos or being a YouTuber? Working with doctors is a totally different area. So while he's saying this is a trait of people in the Dunning-Kruger study, he's actually part of that. He's working with doctors and making videos, which is two separate things, and I consider, terrible at it. Now, let's not beat around the bush. I consider I'm terrible at it too. But, but at least I have a sense of reality. He doesn't. He can show something and don't even understand that he's a part of the problem.
And that's really dangerous because you have these like really smart people like doctors and scientists, and doctors are just known to be terrible, uh, uh, like usually not very good at managing finances because they feel like, well, I'm a smart guy, I know a lot of things, and I can definitely manage this thing, which is not always true. So people also have to understand that competence in one area does not necessarily translate to competence in another area. And then like I like to tell you guys when I think I'm speculating, we're all susceptible to this. We all go through this. Like, I've definitely been on Mount Stupid
This guy's on Mount Stupid more often than he thinks. He thinks he's off it. He's deluded.
multiple times in many areas, and I'm probably still there in a lot of areas too. But like, there's this gentleman, like this gentleman. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not trying to call him out because this is public. But see, he's trying to learn stuff. Like you can tell by reading this comment that he has concerns, but he's generally trying to like figure things out. And I think this kind of comment is very good. And I want to foster a community where we like learn stuff from each other because I certainly learn from your comments.
Trying to learn stuff is totally irrelevant to the Dunning-Kruger model. Trying to learn stuff doesn't mean that the guy is confident or not. Nobody knows whether he's confident or not just by just trying to learn. It's irrelevant.
And where people can kind of learn from each other. And people like this, they have concerns. Like this gentleman has concerns about the cooling system, which I think are legitimate concerns. And he, wonders if Aptera is a scam and things like that. And he has reasonable ideas for that. And he seems genuinely interested in learning. And I think
This guy has similar concerns to myself. Now, I've actually made videos specifically on skin cooling. And if Steve is okay with having questions where one wants to learn, then Steve has not taken the opportunity to answer. So he's a talker that's just all hollow talk.
those are great. There's other people, I'm not going to call them out, that obviously are just very happy to stay on top of Mount Stupid here. They just want to stay there. They're very happy to stay there. And I kind of read their comments and see if they're kind of going to move into this direction. But they're obviously not.
Obviously not. If it's obvious to him, then he must have some sixth sense that says this is a person with high confidence and little knowledge. How does he know that? How does he know from any comment that he reads that such a person has high confidence and little knowledge? He's making assumptions, and there's no way that these assumptions are based on any amount of intelligence known to man.
And I'm wondering, should I just like squelch them and put them in the corner? I'm kind of saying yes. But if you guys think that I should just let these people who are staying here just spout off all the time, I will allow that to continue.
So now he's asking his readership whether he should allow people to spout off all the time. Well, his readership is going to have the same magic judgmental values that he has, that they can understand that, oh, this one's a person of high confidence and little knowledge. And they've got to be able to tell the difference between somebody with high confidence and is very competent, even up to being a guru. How they know these things, I've got no idea. So this seems to be a futile request. It's a completely ridiculous exercise. This is completely useless as a topic. But what the heck, he has yet to get to whether a dog will chase an Aptera. I was going to continue on and read through some of the comments, but there are a lot of them and I need to get this out. So what I think I'll do is just try to quickly make a separate follow-up video on the comments alone. So bye for now, stay safe.